Peace family. So today I wanted to, I normally take on one subject, but I kind of wanted to dive into a few different subjects today, just because one always kind of leads to the other one, and then I'm constantly in a space to where I'm trying to not discuss one subject and save it for a later date and solely focus on this subject at hand. But today I want to dig into talking about being aware versus being woke versus being one of the creator's chosen beings to come back to help raise the frequency of this universe. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of want to start with raising the frequency and being a chosen one. So I know there's a lot of videos on chosen ones, a lot of people are talking about it. I see it in a bunch of different places and spaces. But from my understanding of this subject and being a chosen one, it's more so of the yin and yang, the good and the bad, the light and the dark. You get in both worlds all in one, because usually a chosen one is raised in a very chaotic situation. You know what I'm saying? They usually choose to come back to reincarnate through, one of these broken homes or families. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be a family that's already established with money and stuff. And even if they are established with the finances, it's usually a pretty spiritually broken family. So it would be that one being that's entering that family to be the one to start breaking generational curses. It's a lot of great qualities you get with being a chosen one, but it's also a really big downside to it. But a lot of the abilities you get as being a chosen one, you will have the ability of almost the highest level of discernment. You know what I'm saying? Your intuitiveness and intuition will be above and beyond. You also, as being a chosen one by the creator, you have the authority over a lot of beings out here. You can place judgment over a lot of beings out here. We got a toxic system in charge, a demonic system in charge, so they don't move with the creator. So they're gonna have people thinking that you shouldn't place judgment on people, or that you don't hold no kind of authority over certain beings. But when you understand your calling that's coming to you and from where it's coming from, and you can look back at your life and use all of your life examples of where you stood up for the greater good or the cause, you know what I'm saying, where you stopped some bullying situations. Maybe you used to kill bugs and now you don't kill bugs and stuff like that anymore. It'll be a lot of things that you'll be able to look back on and be able to reflect on. And that's just one small portion. But then you also have the other portion that is going to be, you're going to be able to look back and reflect on, that has to deal with all the situations you made it out of that you wasn't expecting to make it out of. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times chosen ones find themselves in situations that they don't even know how they got themselves into it, let alone knowing how they're going to get themselves out of it. But when you look back at your situations, you always going to be able to see that you always had some kind of guidance there with you, because you didn't have the answers at the time, but solutions always came to you. So with being a chosen one, you don't really fit into today's society, unfortunately. So when you want to equate the chosen ones to the different bots and vessels and entities out here, The chosen ones it's gonna be more so of a number from like for every 1 out of 50 or 1 out of 100. You know what I'm saying? That's how off balance the proportion is. They call it the 144,000, you know what I'm saying? Which is a pretty small number considering how many beings and entities is on this actual planet, you know what I'm saying? So it's enough of us, but we're pretty spread out. But what I'm understanding now on another level, because I done watched a few videos on a lot of this stuff. I'm like, I'll read, I have read, I've done plenty of reading, but I like to intake my information how I intake it, you know what I'm saying? Always think about, if there was no system in place, how would I receive information? I will receive my information from within, or within the beings that I talk to. I don't know who made it seem like information and facts is in books. No, books was just another form of documenting either information, facts, or fiction. You know what I'm saying? That's all that was. That doesn't mean books are facts. That doesn't make books facts. Books are not facts. It's just another piece of information, another means to access information. The book is the old age fucking computer or old age phone, you know what I'm saying? It's all just relaying information. We figuring out different ways to pass information in the 3D world. But as a chosen one, what I realize is you won't be able to be in situations with regular beings anymore. As far as like dating, spouses, none of that stuff is gonna work for you anymore. You're gonna have to cut all of that off. If you don't cut it all off, you're gonna realize that the shit is not going to work. It's not gonna feel right on the inside. So if it don't feel right on the inside, it's not gonna look right on the outside. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna change. You're not gonna be able to have the same relationships with any of your family members that you was close with. All of those relationships are gonna change. You go through a transformation from within outward. So once you get to this space, and it's not for everyone, and it's okay if you are not a chosen one and you just happen to be aware and woke. It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. Everybody still has a purpose here. It's just the chosen ones are here to raise the frequency. It's other beings here that has different jobs and things that they're supposed to be doing here. But our job here isn't to follow man's laws. It isn't to follow society's rules and laws of what's going on. Our job here is to raise the vibration and the frequency on this planet. You know what I'm saying? So being in this position, it makes you realize that family isn't family. Your kids are not your kids. Like it really forces you to become aware of your chakra systems, you know what I'm saying, and most definitely your crown chakra, out all of them. Yes, you're gonna need the rest of them, but your crown chakra, just being able to understand you're a being having a human experience, that you are not to have any holds onto this 3D physical plane. I should be able to, you should be able to let go of everything on this physical 3D plane. So that's including your children, you know what I'm saying? So, and they're not even our children, you know what I'm saying? We just make the vessels and apply them with a few attributes, and then a portal is created during sex. A portal is created. So when you're having sex, it's like Pandora's box. You don't know what the fuck you're gonna get when you go in there. You could get a boy, you could get a girl, you could get a demon, you could get an angel, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what you're gonna get when you going into these kind of boxes. But the thing is when you like becoming, you understanding you're a chosen one, you realize that you're giving someone energy, and then they're also giving you energy. You're taking in whatever spirits and stuff they have around them, pieces of it, and then you're also giving pieces of your shit to them. So if you're somebody that's highly protected and you fucking with a demon, you basically giving this demon free protection. You know what I'm saying? You giving a demon free protection. So what I'm realizing now is on a deeper level, so I always take the information that I research, apply it with my experiences, and that I use by intuition, that I sit back and that I see what answers come to me from within. If us as chosen ones has the authority over a lot of beings out here, we can cast and pass judgment on a lot of beings out here. And we do understand that these are vessels. You know what I'm saying? What happens is we're born into these vessels. It's my job to maintain this vessel and operate at its highest frequency, so that way the creator can use this vessel to do great things as well. But if I'm not, then that leaves my vessel accessible to the demons, these ops that's out here moving around that want to do the same thing, but on a lower frequency and at a more destructive pace. You know what I'm saying? So when I was in some of these relationships with some of these, we call them narcissists now, but I realized that they weaker beings, you know, that are easily controlled by demonic forces. So if you need to be gang stalked, narcs are the perfect vessels for these demons to get into, to gang stalk you or to access you. But I realized, like, with them being empty vessels, basically, almost, it's like, if you're not putting your authority over them, they will put their demonic authority over you. The creator already gave us this authority, so whether you want to believe it or not, we already have this. That's where the system, these demonic forces, come with their authority figures at. They want us to follow their authority in 3D, but they already know that we are authority figures in the spiritual realm. Not all of us, but some of us are, you know, and it's different positions and it's different rankings for a lot of us out here. But everything changes, you know. A lot of your relationships won't be the same. You're gonna have to be able to use these vessels, these other vessels, to maneuver the way you would like them to move for the creator. You're gonna have to be able to helicopters, I'm in airplanes and all kind of shit. Yeah, all that shit. But you're gonna have to be able to use those vessels. So what I kind of start to see is like the creator controls our vessels to a certain extent. So if we're moving at the creator's frequency, love, I'm working towards the highest frequency, then the creator can use our vessel, this 3D vessel, to access these demonic or these weaker vessels, to pull those vessels onto the team. So for instance, I've been building and doing a lot of this stuff for a little bit of time now, but I also had a couple narcs that was in place. So what I had to do was I limited my time and energy to them, and I also made sure I constantly implemented strategies to kind of help everything flow in an upward direction. So I didn't need it, but it was something I was thinking about investing in for my visuals a little bit more, which was like a gaming chair, just to kind of have everything set up better, you know. I was already going to invest into it and do it, but I knew I had a narc around me too, and instead of allowing them to kind of drain my energy and pull it how they want to, I know how to utilize my dark energy. You know, I'm very close friends with my shadow. You know what I'm saying? We should all become best friends with our shadow. But what I did was I used these words, which are spells, and I flipped the words around to the point to where this being was now in the process of randomly just going out to get the chair, and I didn't even have to do anything else besides shift the energy. It's kind of like a counter. It's like somebody go to punch at you and you just kind of weave the joint like, oh, now whether you want to come back and hit them is up to you, or whether you just want to, you know, just kind of let them know like, yo, I could have fucked you up just now, but I'm gonna let you rock. You know what I'm saying? That's completely different. But if these vessels are being used by demonic forces, then it only makes sense. My BM is, I was with her for 5 years. I did everything I was doing in the process with her. So if I could figure out ways, along with my spirit guides and the creator helping me figure out ways to utilize this information, most of us can utilize the same thing, you know what I'm saying? But definitely everybody that is chosen, many are called, few are chosen. Many are called, few are chosen. You know what I'm saying? So all of that comes with being mindful. You know, a lot of people are not gonna see your qualities, your traits, your abilities, you know, and then you have a lot of people that will see them, but they'll do the opposite and make sure that your abilities and traits don't come to the forefront, or they're doing whatever they can to kind of hold it and keep it at bay. You know what I'm saying? People are drawn and attracted to the light. People see the light. I mean, you done went out and been to stores and places, or had to go to events, and you just see somebody full of so much life and light and energy, and you cannot help but keep glancing or looking over there to, you know, just kind of see what is going on. Like, why they got so much life? Why they got so much energy? Like, why they in such a good mood? Like, what is it that they got going on the inside of them that I don't have going on the inside of me? And I realized that with Be About Daughter comes with a lot of life. We come with a lot of energy. Yo, it's not one of these spaces to where you, like, anybody's waking up in a bad mood, like, or with bad energy. Yes, we do go to weird spaces when we time travel, when we sleep. You know, when our bodies shut down, we shut these vessels down and we leave out of this bitch. You know what I'm saying? All of that plays a factor. So I just feel like as long as we can bring as much awareness to everything as possible, continue to not support these demonic entities. Try to minimize how much you support in these demonic entities. You know, we here to change and raise the vibration of this planet. You know what I'm saying? So most of the motherfuckers like me, you ain't gonna catch around with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I did do the Godcast. You know what I'm saying? I do know a lot of people. I do have access to a lot of beings, but I feel more comfortable in my own space. I like being in my own space. You know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoy people, but when you're ascending, you almost, if you're not around other beings that operate like you kind of forced to do it solo. You know what I'm saying? Solo as in solo physically. Spiritually, you do have entities and beings with you. You know what I'm saying? That's guiding you, protecting you, that's moving around with you. But as far as physically, you do. You know what I'm saying? It puts you in a place to where they teach us to lead almost with our sacral chakra. So when you are chosen and you trying to get away from all of this deception, those demons that decided to, you know, put this much energy on one of your most powerful places, which is your sacral chakra, you know what I'm saying? It forces you to really have to figure out how to transmute and transfer your energy. You have to transmute and transfer your energy. If you don't do these things, then it kind of is what leaves you stuck in a loop, worrying and in fear. But when you chosen, we already know we don't live in fear. We acknowledge things, but we don't live in that shit. We just acknowledge it. Okay, I'm underwater. There's a possibility the boat could sink, but that's not where we're gonna live at. You know what I'm saying? Our spirit is gonna put us in a different space to where this is all relaxing and enjoyable, and we know that the Creator is gonna take care of us in that, because we're here on this boat, that nothing is gonna happen to this boat. That's how we think. That's how we feel. We feel like if we're at this plantation or this job, it's excelling because we here. This is how we think and how we feel. We really believe and put a lot of faith into the Creator. Doesn't matter what our situations look like physically on the outside. You know what I'm saying? We put a lot of weight into the Creator, into the highest frequencies, loving, peace, prosperity. Like, it's a lot of things that go into play. You know what I'm saying? But being chosen isn't to knock the other beings down that's not chosen. It's just to acknowledge the ones that are. You know what I'm saying? It's no downplay. Just because somebody was chosen to raise the frequency doesn't mean that another being wasn't chosen to heal the bodies of these vessels out here. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that another being wasn't chosen to watch over the waters of the land or something. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that go into place. But what happening is, why the chosen ones and beings with me and my purpose is here to raise the frequency, why it's so big is because we're the ops to the Decepticons, to these demonic forces that's constantly putting out deception, that's constantly doing the opposite of loving. You know, the opposite of love is fear. The opposite of love is fear. So fear will hinder your growth, you know, because now you're afraid of the unknown. The unknown shouldn't be something that you should be afraid of. It's just unknown, so you are unaware. But as long as you keep your belief in your faith, the unknown almost kind of becomes really fun, for real, for real. That's kind of like free roam space. I kind of fuck with the unknown. I'm like, if I don't have an unknown space, I'll create an unknown space, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? I'm a balanced being, so my situation doesn't allow me to be too up or too down. You know what I'm saying? My shit always keeps me right in the middle. That's just how it's set up for me. It always keeps me in that space. So, like, being mindful, staying in tune with yourself, not allowing these not so good interactions with these other beings that's out here fuck with your energy and to help keep your chakras aligned. You know what I'm saying? So y'all just make sure y'all tap in. You know what I'm saying? Chosen ones, y'all definitely, you know what I'm saying, it's a whole lot of this all the time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing. We all connecting spiritually. We don't need these phones and this technology. We just need it because we want some physical proof. But we are already doing this in the spiritual realm, which is why all this information is getting handed down and passed around. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all definitely make sure y'all tap in with your boy TrakBeatz. You know what I'm saying? I always got everything down below. Peace to the kings and queens.